Well, hello there, YouTube. How's it going? This is Ali from the AI Enthusiast. So today we're going to be talking about operators, and that sounds like a fancy thing, but it's really not. It's just think of like addition, subtraction, and the basic stuff that we learned in elementary school. So I'm going to get started real quick. I'm just going to start with the diagrams. So an operator is essentially a box, and it's either going to have like one input or it's going to have like two inputs. So this is input 1, this is input 2, and then it's going to produce some sort of output. So that's really an operator, guys. It's basically like a function, and we'll get into functions in more detail next time, but let's just say we wanted to do addition. So then I have 3 and I have 5, out spits out 8. It's that simple. So if you recall from the last course, or the video, we were essentially looking at, if you go back to here, variables. We were looking at lists, tuples, dictionaries, and we did 2 videos on variables. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to show, like, for example, if I did A equals 3 and B equals 4, how do I add these? So A is this cell, B is this cell, and this is 3 and 4. And let's just say I want to do C equals A plus B. That's literally all you have to write in Python, guys. And so maybe C is right here, and it's going to be 7. Likewise, I could do, if I wanted to, I could do A times B. So I could do C is equal to A times B. And maybe let's not C, let's do D. It's pretty bad D, but let's just store that D value here inside of here. And so 3 times 4 is 12. And I could do minus, I could do subtraction, I could do division, etc., etc. So I want to show you one thing in terms of arithmetic. So let's just say A is equal to 20 and B is equal to, let's go, no thanks on this. So B is equal to 5. And let's make B equal to 6. So we know that 20 divided by 6, if I do this division, it's going to be 3 remainder 2. 3 times 6 gives me 18, and then I have 2 left over. So if I did A and B, A is equal to 20 and B is equal to 6, if I did A divided by B, I'm going to get 3, and then 2 over 6 is just repeating 3.33, right? Now, if I do A double B, if I do A 2 division signs, this is a little hard to read, but 2 division signs, let me just erase that. I'll just go back like this. So you have A, and then you have divided by B, like that. You have 2 of these slashes. That means you're doing integer division, guys. So that's just going to return the result here. It's not going to care about the remainder. It's just how many times does 6 fit into 20? The answer is 3. It just gives you the whole number. And finally, if I want to do, I can do percent sign B. What this is saying is 20% sign B. It's just saying give me the remainder, also known as the modulus. And so 20 divided by 6, what is the remainder? 2 is the remainder. And so the value will be 2. So this gives you the remainder. This gives you the integer value, the whole number. This gives you the full value, the decimal. Okay. So now we're going to actually go back to the code, and you'll see like how it's looking in the memory grid we were talking about. This is the memory grid of your computer. Notice how we just assigned values. So D became 12, and then we had C, which became 7. So you're just saying that C is another variable. It's another memory cell, and you're putting in the value of A plus B inside of it. So that's literally what you're doing physically. Let's go ahead and go into the code. So one thing, guys, I want you to follow along while I'm actually doing this tutorial. So remember, I actually have the share available, the sharing link, and it's posted it's basically posted in the details of this video. So I will have this in the details. All you have to do is follow along. Make a copy of this and then follow along. So the first thing, guys, as we all remember, print. You can print anything. You can print a string type, integer type, whatever you want. So I'm just going to go ahead and print this statement, and then I'll just say, I'll just print like 5. Just because, you got to keep practicing. Now, we talked about operators. This is just the textbook definition. We just went through all of these, guys, these operators, with the exception of exponentiation. We'll go through that. But here's an example, guys. A equals 10, B equals 3. So A plus B is going to give me 13. A minus B is 7. A times B is 30. A divided by B, remember this is the full division. It's going to be 3.333333 repeated. A percent B, this is giving me the remainder. So A percent 3, that means how many times does B go into A? And then I don't care about the actual number, I care about the remainder. So when A is divided by B, what is the remainder? That's how you can interpret this. And so the remainder is going to be 1. And that's what you see over here. And this is the exponent. So A raised to the power of B. So 10 raised to the power of 3, that's 10 times 10 times 10. That'll give you 1,000. And then A divided by B, but it's double division. It's just, this is what we know, we call it integer division, or you can just say, it's basically just the whole number you're returning. So A divided by B is 3.33333, which we got from this row, 3.333, but we don't care about the decimal part. We just care about the whole number, and that'll give me 3. So we can just practice real quick. If I go ahead and open up some code, so remember 10 times 10 times 10, right? So I could just do 10 times 10 times 10, and I'll get back 1,000. So the other way to say that is 10 to the third power. So these two multiplication signs serve as the third power. So I don't have to comment this out. I can just run this. It'll run the last line of code. And there we go, 1,000. So I can do some really cool things here. 5 times 6, 5 times 6 minus 10 plus 2. So that's 30 minus 10, 20 plus 2, 22. And the result is 22. So it's just like how you used to type things in a calculator, guys. That's exactly what you're doing with Python. Okay, so now we're almost done. We're almost halfway through, guys. Well, we are about halfway through. I'm breaking this this particular tutorial into 2 videos. But now let's talk about comparison, guys. So remember, programming is about logic, right? So we talked about like doing math and computations. The next part of it is talking about the equality or the comparison operators. So this is the code, equals equals, this is apostrophe equals, this is greater than, less than, and then this is greater than or equal to, and this is less than or equal to. Pretty straightforward. So these operators, so these are operators, same thing, guys. If I go back to this screen here, right, instead of add now, I have a different operator. So one of the operators was the equals equals sign. So this is equals equals. So if 3 and 5 go into this equals equals sign is saying, are they equal? That's all they're saying. So it's not going to give us a number back. I can just exit this out. It's actually going to give us a value. It's going to give us a true or false. So it's going to say false because 3 is not equal to 5. Okay? So what I can do is if I just kind of clear up this section, and I could do another example real quick with you guys. So let's go back to the code. So we can see A is equal to 10, B is equal to 3. Is A equal to B? Is it equal? No, false. Is A not equal to B? This means not equal to, the apostrophe. Well, A is not equal to B. That's a true statement. 10 is not equal to 3. So that returns the value of true. And then A is greater than B? Yeah, A is greater than B. That's true. A is less than B? Nope, that's false. A is greater than or equal to B? Yeah, it's certainly greater than or equal to B. It is a true statement. And then A less than or equal to B is a false statement. So I'm going to do Shift Enter, and it'll print all the 6 of those results. Now the cool thing here is, guys, remember how in the last tutorial we were doing like, I don't know, banana equals 14, right? So remember, there's a memory cell. We're calling it banana, and we're storing 14 inside of there. Going back to the Miro drawing, right? We would be storing 14 in the memory cell. But now, remember, we also have Boolean types from the last videos, 2 videos ago. So we said, we are cool. So we cannot have spaces. We have to have underscores. And we could say that's a true statement. We are cool. That's true. Now, same way you can store true or false values. Remember, these are returning true or false. So, like, for example, remember, it's an operator. So this is the not equal operator. So let me go back here. I have my box, and then I have the not equal to operator. So it takes in 2 inputs, in our scenario, we had A and B, so we could do anything really. So if C, we have C and D here, C is equal to 7, guys, and here D is equal to 12, if you recall. So that's C and that's D. So if I do C and if I do D, that's the input to this operator. It'll give you a value back. It's going to do false because C is equal to 7 and D is equal to 12. They're not equal to each other, right? Is C not equal to D? That's what this is asking. Is C not equal to D? Excuse me, it's actually going to return true. C is in fact not equal to D. That's what it's testing. It's testing whether or not it's a true statement. So this is true. And I can run this. So 7 is not equal to 12. Let's just go ahead and run that. So if I come here, I can just do 7 not equal to 12. Okay, and voila, it's a true statement. Now, it did execute all this stuff, guys, but remember, this is not printing anything. So the reason why we see the results of this is because we're printing each of these rows. We're not printing anything here. Like, if there's nothing to print, you're just storing some data in banana, and then you're storing some data in we are cool. And I could print out we are cool. I could say print we are cool. So this is going to now, remember, code goes from top to bottom. So banana is equal to 14. We are cool is true. Then the third line of code executes, and we are cool. We're just printing that, so it's going to print true. And then finally, this fourth line of code, it's going to give us the result of that. So it's going to do we are cool is true, and then the bottom 7 is not equal to 12. That's true. And then finally, guys, I wanted to show you something. Let's just say I can do control all, and then I can do control slash. So that's CTRL plus a slash in my keyboard, and that'll comment the line, all the lines when I've highlighted them. So now here's the thing, guys. I want to show that these values, remember, they have outputs. The output is true. I can just store that in another variable. So I could say brother equals 10, and then brother 2 equals 12. Okay? Brother, we'll just say this is brother 1, is older. Well, I could do 10 is greater than 12, right? I could say brother 1 is greater than brother 2. Okay, is this a true statement, guys? Is brother 1 greater than brother 2? It's actually not a true statement. So that means this variable, this is another box in your memory inside of here. You're going to be storing the word value false. And so I can actually print brother 1 is older. Remember string type. And then I can print another variable. I can just do this. And look at that. Brother 1 is not older. Are they older? The value is false. So you can actually store the value of these operators, just like you can store a plus b into 10. Or, you know, if I could do c equals a minus b. It knows what a and b are because we've already defined them. I could do like f equals, and then e equals, okay, ge, and I could do c is equal to g minus e. Okay, so now I stored the output back into another variable c. Same way, I'm storing the output of this comparison operator. Remember, we're in the comparison operator section. These operators give you true or falses back, and then you store that inside of a memory cell. So brother 1 is older, that's just going to be another value here. It's another box. So I'm not going to write it all out, but it's actually going to be the label. It'll be like brother, dot, 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 dot. It'll be an actual, oops, that little string, that whole text there, brother is 1 is older, and this is going to be false, stored inside of it. Okay, so now we have pretty much gone through what we wanted to go through for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we'll go through logical operators, guys, logical order operators, assignment operators, and some other operators, membership operators. So stay tuned for the next video. And we also have practice questions at the bottom of this. So you can already take a look at this, but in the next video, I'll also briefly go over the practice questions. Yeah, so guys, that's pretty much it. I'll talk to you next time. Take care and have a good one.